Well, good morning, folks. This is Greg in Florida. This is April 9, 2012, Prophecy Report, and we trust you all had a great resurrection weekend, culminating yesterday in our Resurrection Sunday. Well, we've got I think it's a fairly important prophecy report today, so let's get started. First article comes out of Jeremiah 51:1. Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. Last week, as I was making the prophecy report and appealing to folk to trust Jesus before it's too late, the Dallas, Texas area was getting walloped with as many as up to 13 tornadoes. Keywords to read some articles on it is 13 Dallas, Texas tornadoes. Last week was a big week for signs in the sun, moon, and stars, and distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. And let me turn off my phone here so it don't ring and interrupt us. All right, one article. Apparently we had a glowing ball of fire streak through the skies of New Zealand last week. So to read that article, keywords, use glowing ball meteor NZ skies. Now also up in Norway, at the opposite end of the, we go from south to north now, meteorite apparently flies through a family's roof. Now, meteorites are worth a lot of money. You can sell them. The bigger they are, and this one apparently big enough to bust through the roof is worth a lot of money. This family can, of course they got damage to their home, but I don't know if they're going to make any profit off of it. Depends on how big the hole is and all that, but they can sell that and make some money off it. Anyway, if you find one in your backyard, you can make some money off of it. Heck, there's a TV show called Meteorite Men. They go out and pick up meteorites and sell them. And the keywords to this article is meteorite crashes, roof Norway. Meteorite crashes, roof Norway. Okay, this one, next one is not only fulfills Luke 21:25, but also comes up under the heading of earth changes and may be reminiscent of Revelation 8:7. And the key articles are astonishing heat, March set records. It was hot. It was hot here in Florida. We set a lot of records here in Florida in March. It kind of cooled off a little bit last night. It might have got down to probably 68, 69 would be my guess. All right, now in the sea and waves roaring category under Luke 21, we had a big wave hit a yacht in, I think it was Australia, and injured some people. Big wave injures 4 is your key words on that one. Big wave injures 4, and you can read that article. And also under perplexity, found all on standeo.com. Scroll down to Residents Report Saturday Night Sounds That Shook Michigan. And that is Residents Report Saturday Night Sounds That Shook Michigan. This is on standale.com. They've linked to some of my articles in the past and some of my videos, and I appreciate them doing that. Stan and Holly Dale are good Christian people, and I appreciate you going there and clicking on that and reading their articles on there. Okay, now we come up with Daniel 12:4, knowledge increasing. And you can find this one also on standale.com, and you can scroll down to Terrafugia, the flying car flies again. Now they've had these for a while, and I don't know how well they went over, but apparently they got one that works very well and is possibly to be the next flying car. They also had the bow car. Remember the bow car? You'd drive right off of the road into the water, and it would be a boat. I wonder if they're going to try and bring that. All right, now on Matthew 24, wars and rumors of. The only difference is, this is one of your most important articles that I'm going to give you this week. The only difference on this war is it seems to be on the American people in general, and Christians in particular. There's two articles here. One is DHS buying 450 million new bullets. Next article, DHS isn't the only ammo hog in the United States. Okay, seems that DHS and Homeland Security are stocking up on ammo in this next war that they're planning. Okay, now this next article is interesting in view of the previous two that I just reported to you. This one is, I want to give you the entire title to the article here. Homeland Security targets anti-abortion activists as domestic terrorists. You got that? Now, these anti-abortion activists are Christians. I don't believe there's very many non-Christian people involved in anti-abortion activism. I'm not really involved in activism myself. I'm too old and sickly to get out there and do anything like that. I'm more of a keyboard commando. And when it regards to my activism, I go to Lou Dobbs and vote in his poll, and do these videos and the website. But I'm not going to get out there in the streets and demonstrate for pretty much anything. Now, it's strange to me that these three articles all come out in the same week. You got the Homeland Security stocking up on hundreds of millions of ammo. You got DHS stocking up. And you got the government saying, we're targeting anti-abortion activists, which means Christians. Are they trying to send a message? In fact, I think it's a nasty little message they're trying to send to Christians. They're saying, you get out there in the streets, we're going to gun you down. They did that to the folks down at Waco, didn't they? Got away with it, too. Now, I want you to positively be aware and read. After you read these three articles, read the Psalm 2. Why do the heathen rage? Why do the people imagine a vain thing? They're raging against God's people, David says. Okay, moving right along now to Jeremiah 50 and 23. How has the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Well, we just read the reason why, and now here's how it's playing out in real time and in real life. The article is keywords: Candid Study, Chinese Scholar. That's Candid Study, Chinese Scholar. The whole article title reads, in Candid Study, Chinese Scholar sees U.S. in decline. He's one of a multitude of them have written a similar article to that. All right. Now, there's a lot of people on YouTube that fancy themselves a news outlet, and that's fine. They bring some news forward, and they think they're bringing untold, unheard of news before, but they're not. Some of them have been reporting on this and have been howling against and decrying the alleged murder of civilians in Syria, but they never say one single solitary thing about the murder of Christians going on in various places like China, which goes back to the days of Mao Zedong and is still going on today. But this week in the news we have this article that comes up. The silent scream, the Sudan ethnically cleanses its Christians. Very, very few people have been reporting on this in the press. In fact, I think probably nobody in the mainstream media has reported on this, and only a very few here on YouTube. Christians are being murdered and persecuted all over the world, and the press says nothing, while they're screaming and hollering about the Palestinians, about the Muslims in being murdered in Syria, and they screamed bloody murder about the Muslims in Libya. But they say nothing about Christians in the Sudan or in Burma. I think that's called Myanmar now. All right, now this article, this particular news headline is especially for those having outrage over these Muslims, but let's have a little outrage over the murdered Christians as well. If you're gonna be outraged over murdered Muslims, let's be outraged over murdered Christians. In fact, I think there's a lot more Christians being murdered in the world than there are Muslims, because most of the times it's Muslims that are murdering the Christians. I reported last year probably half a dozen or more articles where Christians are being murdered or mistreated or persecuted in Egypt. So I say what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you're going to be outraged over one group being murdered, and let's be outraged over everybody that's suffering and being murdered. Okay, that's it for this week, folks. It's been an extra long video, but I think there's been some good points brought up and some stuff we need to look about and pray about. Let's pray for the Christians that are being persecuted throughout the world, particularly in Burma, the Sudan, China, and elsewhere. And we also pray for salvation. If you need salvation, trust Jesus today, and because you may not be able to tomorrow, just like I was talking about last week about the trust in Jesus before you can't. And people in Texas were I don't know that there was anybody killed out there, but there was certainly a lot of devastation going on. But it could have been possibly some people out there in Texas that did not get a chance to trust Jesus. And trust Jesus today. It's in the description box just click on the see more, and I'll see you next week if the good Lord willing. Till then, the eagle's out.